Hello, my name is Professor Burke and I'm here to go over the muscles of the leg. So the first thing you want to do is get your skeletal muscle list and turn to page 3, the last page which goes over the muscles of the lower limb. So we're going to start looking at different regions or learning the muscles in the regions of the leg, which helps to make it a little easier to learn. So let's start by looking at the muscles of the anterior thigh. And I like to learn them as groups. So we're going to start with these 3 right here. These 3 are 3 of the 4 muscles that make up the quadriceps. The one in the middle is called the rectus femoris. The one that is more medial is called the vastus medialis. And the one over here that's more lateral is called the vastus lateralis. And these 3 muscles, with the 4th one, which is not on your list, when they contract, they all do the same thing. They cause extension of the lower leg. Okay, let's move next to the muscles of the medial thigh. And again, we are going to look at these 3 right here, these 3. So all of these 3 cause adduction, A-D-D-U-C-T-I-O-N, adduction of the thigh. And we'll start with this one, which is called the adductor longus. And it's called that because it is a very long muscle, even though you can't see it on this model. The straight one in the middle is called the gracilis. And then this one here is called the adductor magnus because it is large. Magnus means large. So again, these 3 together cause adduction of the thigh. Now let's look at the posterior muscles of the thigh. And again, I'm going to choose these 3 here. These are called the hamstrings. This one, which is always lateral, is called the biceps femoris. Next to it is the semitendinosus, and then more medially, you'll see the semimembranosus. Now we can only see a little tiny bit of it because the semimembranosus actually runs underneath the semitendinosus, but it is a fairly large muscle. Now these 3 together cause flexion of the lower leg, flexion. Okay, here's another one I want to mention, which is kind of by itself on the side. It looks like a fairly short muscle with a very long tendon, and this is called tensor fasciae latae. Okay, one more kind of unusual one towards the front. It looks kind of like a long strap, is called the sartorius muscle. Okay, and I'm going to mention 2 more at the very top of the model, 2 more. So the first one is right here. You can only see a little bit of it. It is called the pectineus. And then up here, we have 2 muscles that come together as one, called the iliopsoas, okay, where the P is silent in that. So the iliopsoas consists of the iliacus, which is this muscle, and the iliacus is attached to the iliac crest, and then the psoas down here below. Okay, so that's one muscle. Okay, let's take a look now at the muscles of the lower leg, and we're going to look at the anterior lower leg. And the first landmark I'd like you to look at is the tibia. The tibia is a bone, and right next to it is the tibialis anterior. Now if we turn the leg a little bit, we'll see there's another muscle popping out here, and this muscle goes to all the toes, or the digits as they're called, digits. This is called the extensor digitorum because it extends the toes. If we keep moving on, we'll see a little bit of the fibula, and the muscle next to that is called the fibularis longus, which is a good name for it, but they also call it the peroneus longus. Okay, now we're going to go to the muscles of the posterior lower leg, and the 2 I'd like you to focus on are the gastrocnemius, which is a fairly large muscle, very prominent in runners. You'll notice you can see the shape of it. And then underneath it is an even larger muscle called the soleus. So you can only see a little bit of it peeking out here and a little bit of it peeking out there. But the soleus runs underneath the gastrocnemius.